How's it going, guys? It's the Peruvian Trucker back with another video. I'm a little upset right now. I was planning to get to my delivery location, or my 90, tonight. I had 9 hours to do, a little under 9 hours to do 400 miles, which should be more than enough time, but between an accident and construction work on I-80, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not running late, even though I was loaded late. Had plenty of time for this load, but I just wanted to make it there. They have overnight parking, and I just wanted to be able to sit there and chill until they unloaded me. If they unloaded me early, that would have been a plus, but just getting there as quickly as possible is my goal, always. But tonight is not the case, and the one thing to rescue about the whole situation, as always, is that I just love Ohio. Like, at least the rest stop system, there's always somewhere to park in Ohio. At least on the highways. But yeah, so I'm at a rest stop in Ohio, clearly, and at least I'm grateful for that I didn't have to search that hard to find a parking spot and just call it a day. But just the title of this video, so we'll just get into it. While I was taking some home time, I got towed. So let me get started by saying I'm not proud of it. I'm not happy about it either. It's something that happened because I made a mistake. I don't want to offend anybody, like any Peruvians or anything, but I want to say the Peruvian in me, or maybe the Latin American in me, because at least Peruvians, like the Peruvians that watch this, and I'm gonna say it in Spanish after, but the Peruvians that watch this know that us Peruvians have this thing within us where we're trying to scam the system, or like beat the system and save money, and like en español decimos las pendejadas. Tratamos de sacarle la vuelta a las cosas. Tratamos de ahorrar dinero haciendo las cosas de la manera equivocada, o por lo bajo, like under the table stuff. So I'm not proud about that side of me, but it came out. I tried to save some money by parking where I wasn't supposed to, and against the advice of my dad that was with me, and I suffered the consequences. I'm not proud about it. Again, I'm not happy about it. It's just another learning experience in my back pocket that could have been avoided, but my motto should be, it is what it is, because literally that's what it is. But anyway, let me walk you through it. So as you saw in my home time video, I parked at a spot by my house, literally across the street, and I was there with my parents, showing off the truck, and a couple of friends came over. That's the thumbnail for the last video. A couple of friends came over, and we were there for a solid couple of hours, but I already knew that I had to move. So me and my dad, we went to find a parking spot. I knew a Walmart nearby, and I had seen people, I had seen another truck parked there in the past, so I was hoping that I could park there. And I got to the Walmart, and there were 2 box trucks and another Freightliner bobtail parked there. And I thought that would be a good spot. Again, 595 truck stop is, I said in my last video that it was 30 miles away. It's not 30 miles away, it's like 30 minutes away, like 20 miles away really from where I live. And after driving 120 miles, that's really not that much further. But, you know, what can I say? I mean, there's I can give you a ton of excuses. I was lazy. I just didn't feel like driving. I was tired. I wanted to spend time with family. Didn't feel like wasting more time finding a parking spot. Whatever. So I just left the truck there. I went home. Didn't think much of it. Had a good time. Spent time with family until like 1 in the morning, maybe. You know, like the friends that were there when I showed the truck, they stayed at the house, and I came back and had a great time with them. And I was checking the truck. The Prime app has this thing, like the truck has GPS, so you can track the truck on the Prime app in the entire time. So at like midnight, around that time, I checked the truck a couple times by then, and it was still where I left it. I went to sleep. I didn't think much of it. Woke up at like 8 in the morning. I had made plans to go to the gym with my brother that morning, Saturday morning, and then have breakfast with my parents. We didn't really had a set time to wake up and go to the gym. We were just chilling. I woke up, and the first thing I did, I grabbed my phone and I checked the truck, and the truck was no longer where I left it. I knew exactly where it was. I just had to look at the streets because I know this towing company. I got into an accident a couple years ago, and I know their location. So as soon as I realized what was going on, I woke up my brother as quickly as I could. Tried to not, well, I mean, try to leave as quickly as we could to get this done, because I also know that when you get towed, the longer the truck stays there, there's fees that you don't want to have to deal with. There's storage fees, there's daily fees. And you know what the crazy thing is? So, this didn't happen, but said the truck got towed on Friday at like 10 o'clock at night. By midnight, that's 1 day. So, by Saturday morning, I have to pay for 2 days. That's how towing works, for people who don't know. At least for when I had my car towed. So I was trying to avoid that. I woke my brother real quick. We left the house. I didn't tell my parents because what am I gonna tell them? Yeah, and of course my brother drove. My brother drove me to the place, and while he's driving, all these thoughts are going in my head, you know, like all the reminders of how much getting towed when you're driving a semi costs. So in my head, I'm like, holy crap, this is gonna be $1,000. Like my weekend, like I can afford it. It's fine. Like, I mean, like I'm still gonna be able to get the truck out, but you know, I'm saving this money. What a stupid mistake I just made. You know, but in my head, I'm like, it doesn't matter as long as I get it out. You know, like that's what's important. And in my head, I already had this big number, you know. But I got to the place. We got there at like 9 o'clock, 9:30. And as soon as I walked in like this is like a street, like it's like at the end of the street. So as soon as we got on the street, I could see my truck. So I'm like, yep. Well, we parked. I walked into the office. There was someone in front of me, so I waited for that person to do their thing. Actually, and there was another group of people next to me. So, you know, I had to, you know, be lighthearted about it. I was like, "Happy Saturday morning, guys," because everybody's waiting to pick up their car. You know, and they chuckled. We all related to the same misery, I guess. But the guy that was in front of me took care of his thing, and the lady in the counter asked me what I was there for. So I explained that I was here to pick up my truck. Green Freightliner, it's outside, you know. And she told me that it was going to be $440. That's the number. And I'm not gonna lie, like right now as I'm sitting and remembering I'm pissed about the fact that I burned $440 trying to save $150. But in that moment, I was relieved. Like I had this big $1,000 payment in my head, so I was like, "Oh, it's only $440," and I paid it. I guess for one, I didn't take into account that the towing, the cost of towing a bobtail is much less than towing a semi, which was the number I had in my head. But yeah, I was relieved. I paid that, and I was on my way. Before I forget, I paid that, and I asked the lady, like, because I know there's 595 truck stop, but I was curious. Like, I asked her, "Do you know of any other places where I can park my truck?" And she mentioned 595 truck stop, and then another place, like a Mother's truck stop, that was in a sketchy neighborhood, according to her. I don't really know where that is, but I just told her, yeah, 595 is my best bet. But she told me not to park. So in South Florida, there's I-95 and there's the Florida Turnpike, and the Florida Turnpike has multiple rest areas. And one of my thoughts when I was trying to figure out if I should leave the truck at the Walmart or find some other place closer was to leave it at one of those Florida Turnpike rest areas, because it's kind of close to my house as well. Well, it turns out that according to the lady from the towing company, she told me that those rest areas are monitored by a different towing company, and that if I would have left my truck there, it would have been $1,800 to get it out. So again, not happy about spending $440 to get my truck out, but I would take that any day over $1,800 if I would have taken the other spot, or the $1,000 that I had on my head. And of course, lesson learned, from now on, 595 truck stop, $25 for a bobtail a day. So yeah, I walked outside of the office. I walked to the gate, and the security guard, I was talking to him, and I pointed at my truck, and we were talking, and I asked him out of curiosity, because the thing with an automatic truck is that they have to detach the drive shaft, because if they don't detach the drive shaft, when the truck rolls, they can mess up the transmission. So I asked the guy in the gate, like, "Hey, do you know how they tow?" Because, like, I wasn't able to check my truck just yet, because it's in their property, and I was supposed to wait for them to, like, I don't know, pull it out, I guess. So I was talking to the guy, and the guy was like, well, right. Oh, my GPS is still working. So I asked the guy how they tow, and he's like, "Man, I don't know, but the one thing that I can tell you is that you got towed by our best guy." So I guess that's a good thing. It makes no difference to me. Well, I guess it does. I mean, the wrong person can mess up my truck, and that would have been worse for me. So I asked him, like I told him, like, "Hey man, I have a YouTube channel, and I mean, at this point I already paid, like, I got whatever." So I asked him, "Is there any way that I can get you on video saying that I got towed by your best guy?" And he said, "No, that's just for me." Whatever. I try, guys. I try for you. But anyway, so I asked him if I could just, like, walk in and drive it out. I can drive it out. He said that was fine, and I drove. I got on the truck, and that's when I figured out. So the tow truck driver broke into my truck, because I guess that's their best guy. Their best guy broke into my truck, and basically what he did was he wrapped the seatbelt to the steering wheel, and basically towed my truck from the back tires, so he didn't have to detach anything, and that way the steering wheel just stays straight, and he was able to tow me that way. that's how they did it. We're 14 minutes in, 15 minutes, so let's recap. Basically after that, I just asked my brother to follow me to 595 truck stop, and I called my dad real quick, explained that I got towed. He was kind enough to not say I told you so just then. But needless to say, I didn't hear the end of that until I got on my truck and left last week. And rightfully so. My parents have all the right to throw that into me. I was upset, but sitting now here, I can't blame them. And if I ever have a kid that does that, I'll probably do the same thing. Except I'm not a kid, but whatever. It is what it is. Another thing, and I'll end the video with this. The lady while I was waiting so what happened is that I had to email the lady in the office, in the towing office. I had to email her my truck documents to prove that it was my truck. So while I was waiting for her to receive them and print them out for the records, some other person called, some other guy, I guess some other trucker, and what she said to him was that if this person didn't show up by 11 in the morning, the registered owner of the truck had to show up. So in my case, my name is on the title, but the truck is still Success Leasing truck or Prime truck. I'm not sure. I don't remember right now. But if I would have showed up later, like at that time, not only I would have to pay more fees because they keep piling up, but I don't know. I don't even want to know who would have had to come to retrieve the truck. So again, I was just relieved to just get out of that situation. And I'm sure it won't happen again. And that's it. That's the story. I want to thank you guys again for following me in this journey. And I'll catch you in the next one. I actually have something really interesting planned for the next video. So you have to wait and see. It's going to be something fun for sure. I've mentioned multiple times how thankful I am for everybody that watches this video. So I have a little bit of an appreciation video planned.